Hey everyone, welcome back to another Retro Kenner review. Today we're taking a look at their Jurassic Park Series 1 Young Tyrannosaurus Rex. We're going to keep celebrating the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park on the channel. Next up is this young T-Rex, and this was one of my favorite figures from Series 1. Seriously, I took this toy absolutely everywhere with me, and I'm actually surprised of the condition it's in. There's very little paint wear on it. I am missing the Dino Damage piece, but we'll get into that a little while later. But yeah, it feels really good to go back and review these classic toys that were such a big part of my childhood growing up. Now, the young T-Rex was one of the larger figures in the line, which means it came in a box like most of the larger figures. I always loved the style of the old Kenner packaging with that red and black backgrounds. It was just always such a joy just to see them all lined up at my local toy stores. I miss toy stores now. No more Toys R Us around here. We're stuck going to Target and Walmart now. It just isn't what it used to be, and it kind of makes me a little bit sad. So anyways, let's throw this thing up on the turntable and jump into this retro review. And here at the young T-Rex in all its glory. Like I said, I took this toy absolutely everywhere with me. It's the all-time favorite figure of mine. Now, in the Jurassic Park film, there was no Juvenile or young T-Rex, but in the novel there was. There was two T-Rexes in the novel. It seems like Kenner took some inspiration from the novel when they were designing these toys way back then when these came out in '93. It does have the proportions of, kind of a juvenile. We know T-Rex as a juvenile looked a lot different now, but, has the oversized head and forearms, kind of gives it that young look. The main coloration is just this, orange color with these dark brown stripes. In the novel, the young T-Rex had more of a reddish color scheme like the adult featured in the book. But yeah, really cool looking figure. And you notice I do have a Dino Damage piece in there. That is a replacement piece from Cyric Tech, but we'll go over that piece a little bit later on in the review. And now time for some measurements. This figure is 15 inches long from the tip of the snout to the tip of the tail, or about 38 centimeters, and about just under 6 inches tall to the top of the head, or 15 and a quarter centimeters. So there's no size estimate of how big the young T-Rex was in the novel. So I'm going by the Jane specimen of T-Rex, which is a adolescent T-Rex. So she was around 21 and a half feet long, or 6.5 meters. So I put this figure in the 1/17 scale range. And now let's zoom and take a look at some of the finer details on this figure, starting with the head. These old Kenner toys are all really nicely sculpted. Just absolutely love the rubberized feel of these dinosaurs, because they featured real feel skin, because dinosaurs felt exactly like rubber. But yeah, a decent head sculpt on here. You can see some large scale sculpted in all over the inorbital finesse. You can see the nostrils right here, a dark coloration for the orbit. The eye is painted a yellowish green color with a black pupil and a little white dot for the light reflection. The teeth are all done in nice white plastic. You can see the dark purplish gums in the back right here and inside the mouth. You do get some nice details for the tongue and the roof of the mouth. Some large scales lining the lips, going down to the neck. You can see all that light brown striping contrasting with the orangish color of the figure. And then turn the figure over, you get a nice underside with a nice white coloration. You get large scales starting right below the hips, go all the way down to pretty much the tip of the tail. The forearms are oversized. They may have a slightly more rigid rubber material. The hand claws aren't painted in, but you do have a little bit of that white coloration transition to the armpits of the figure. And then going down to the side, you can see the Dino Damage piece right here. Now on camera, it looks like this piece isn't color matched, but in person, it matches this figure absolutely perfectly. And like I said earlier, this is a replacement piece from Cyric Tech. He does a lot of cool stuff. He makes replacement Dino Damage pieces. He's actually making the Ultimasaurus figure right now. He did the unreleased Lost World Triceratops figure. He does a lot of cool stuff. I'm going to leave a link to his Instagram down below in the description if you're looking for replacement Dino Damage pieces. But it fits nicely in here. Well, let's take a look at all that gore first. You can see the rib cage and some organs back. They always just thought the Dino Damage look on these old Kenner figures were really, really gnarly looking. You can just pop that right back in, and that will, fit into place. But like I said, it is color matched perfectly to this figure. Just the cameras just making it look really, really off right now. This is a cast off the original Dino Damage piece. And then going down to the legs, you get some little osteoderms peppered through, some more of that dark brown coloration. Go down to the feet, toe claws are painted in that dark brown color. You got some striping along the toes. You got the Jurassic Park tattooed on the calf right there. It is number 6. Here's a view of the figure from the top. You got these large keeled scales that stop right above the hips. Very unique look for T-Rex, that is for sure, and more of that striping all the way down to the tip of the tail. Now for articulation, these old Kenner figures were not known for having much articulation. Really, the only articulation you have on this figure are the forearms right here. And it does come with an action feature, and there's no button or mechanism to activate it, but it does come with deadly slashing jaws, and to activate that, you just have to squeeze the figure underneath the throat, and it will open the jaws open. It's a very, very weak action feature, and the jaws are strong enough to hold a smaller dinosaur figure or human figure in its mouth. Now, first up from comparisons, here it is with Beast of the Mesozoic Juvenile T-Rex, and this is what a Juvenile T-Rex would look like in real life, but I still love the look of the Kenner one. It's just, like I said, it's an all-time classic in my eyes. And next up, here it is with another Beast of the Mesozoic figure. This is their 1/35 scale Tyrannosaurus Rex, and I sent this out to the very, very talented Jurassic Park compound for this repaint. It's a nice homage to the young T-Rex. I'm so happy I actually found my original figure. Now I can display these two on the shelf next to each other. And next up, here it is with the Series 2 Utahraptor. And next up, here it is with some of its wave mates, the Series 1 recently reviewed Stegosaurus. And here it is with the Series 1 Triceratops. Let's line these up just a little bit better. And next up, here it is with the classic Kenner Red Rex. Like I said earlier, the baby T-Rex, the young T-Rex in the novel, was pretty much this color scheme as the adult was portrayed. Like I said, Kenner took a ton of inspiration from the novel when they were designing these toys. It's probably because the movie was in production, and Spielberg's trying to keep things on the wrap. So they probably had to kind of wing a few things on their own. And lastly, here it is with the Mattel 93 Classic line. I still want to see Mattel do more, paying homage to the Kenner toys of old. I'm really enjoying this little taste that they gave us, but I really hope they have a lot more stuff planned to come out, and just love to see more rubber dinosaurs from Mattel. So final thoughts on the Kenner Young Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's an all-time favorite figure of mine. Like I said, it's just something I grew up with my childhood and just took it everywhere with me. It has a classic design. I just like the orange color scheme with those dark brown striping. The action feature on a lot of these rubber Kenner dinosaurs are very lacking, but you know what? It's just a nice trip down 90s nostalgia lane, and it's a cool figure. If you don't have one yet, you probably can track them down between like 20 to maybe 40 bucks without the Dino Damage piece. They go for probably like another 30, 40 bucks more for it, but if you have one, you need a replacement piece. The replacement piece from Cyrotech was like 20 bucks. Yeah, it's a little pricey for a small piece of plastic, but it makes your figure complete, and I didn't mind paying the price to complete a childhood favorite toy of mine. So that will do it for the review. I have a bunch of new stuff coming in. It seems like May is going to be a very, very busy month for dinosaur reviews on the channel, so stay tuned for all that. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on the channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously and is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.